Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking in. And if you like hunting, fishing, camping, product reviews, anything like that, that's what this channel is all about. It's all about trying to get people out in the outdoors. And if you like all that, please like and subscribe to the channel. That'd be a huge help to me. And today we are going to go over our favorite deer hunting calibers. This covers the wide spectrum of weapons for everything from a handgun, muzzleloader, shotgun to rifle. And we wanted to show you all the calibers we have used and what we like and give you our opinion on it. This is a touchy subject for a lot of people. Everybody has their own opinion on what their favorite caliber is, but we wanted to show you our specific ones. To start off, I wanted to talk about my first two rounds for new hunters and youth hunters, and also these are great for women as well. The first one is a 243 Winchester. This is a very common round, I think, for most people. I hope that gets clear there. This is a lot of guys' first caliber they shoot for deer. You hear a lot of youth hunters, this is like the perfect round to get them in, get them starting to practice shooting. It doesn't kick at all. It's relatively cheap to shoot and just easy to kind of get into the realm of hunting with guns and everything and just practicing and getting to understand rifles and everything like that. So we won a rifle about a year ago, a 243. Never had shot the round before. Was a little hesitant at first because some people say it's a little small. Other people love it. Well, we've been hunting with our Bama guys for a couple years now, and they actually love this round. Swear by it. So this year we finally said, hey, let's just deck this rifle out. Let's practice with it. It shot fantastic with 4 different types of bullets, and then took it out to Bama. And the video just went up on the channel a few weeks ago. If you want to go check it out. I shot a doe at about 150 yards, quartering away, complete pass-through with these bullets. These are the Remington Core-Lock tip bullets. Really love this bullet so far. I got it in a couple different calibers. And the deer only went about 40 yards and piled right up and blew a big hole in it, way bigger than I was expecting with a 95 grain bullet. So, thrilled with the 243. That's what you shoot, about 95 to 100 grains with your commercial ammo. I'm not sure what you can really load with it, if you were a hand loader, but this is more for people who probably aren't hand loaders. So that's what you're kind of looking at. And like I said, it's relatively cheap to shoot. It kicks, it has little kick at all, and very thrilled with it. It's a great entry-level caliber, and definitely look forward to hunting with it some more and putting it to the test. So the next caliber I am going to talk about is the new kid on the block, is what I like to call it. And it is the Winchester 350 Legend. So for those of you who don't know, this round came out about 4 years ago now, I think. So 3 or 4 years ago from Winchester. And they came out with it because there's still states that only allow for shotgun and muzzleloaders as their guns for gun season. So it's mainly the states with a lot of flat ground because they don't want bullets, going miles and miles and miles and accidentally hitting a house. So they came out with this round because there's states like Iowa, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, and even us for public land that only allow straight wall or muzzleloaders and shotguns for gun season. And the premise behind this is it's supposed to be a little bit more accurate than your muzzleloader and your shotgun. It also gives you more rounds than your shotgun, not your shotgun, your muzzleloader. And then on top of that, it also has little to no kick, and it's shooting a 30 caliber bullet as well, a 357 size bullet. So they came out with it, and I bought into it. One of our good buddy Sloss that you've seen on a bunch of videos, if you've watched any of them, had bought it, and he sold me on it. So I went out and bought it, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. It's really cheap to shoot. You can get the full metal jacket 145s for like maybe 20 bucks. And then the hunting ammo, which is this right here, the 350 Legend 150 grain XP, for 30 bucks. So it's relatively cheap to shoot. It used to be way cheaper before all the bad stuff happened with the pandemic, but we've shot about 7 deer with this now, and not one has gone over 40 yards, and absolutely thrilled with it. And the one thing I wanted to note, this round is really your perfect Midwest gun. This would be the round I would choose if you're a Midwest hunter and you're not shooting over 200 yards. This is a perfect gun out to 200 yards. Some guys even shoot beyond it, but I say 200 and in, your brush gun, this is the caliber I would want. That's why I bought it, because I was kind of in between a lot of other rounds. Like there's the 450 Bushmaster, but it's a lot of kick, a lot heavier round coming out of it. It's way more expensive, and I was just like, I'd rather shoot cheaper and not hurt my shoulder all the time shooting it. So we've absolutely been thrilled with this round and highly recommend. And if you're in any of those states with any regulations like that, I definitely recommend checking out the 350 Legend. I want to note one more caliber that I almost forgot about, that goes in line with 350 Legend and all the laws and regulations with straight wall cartridges for the states that only allow those, is the 44 Remington Magnum. So 44 mag, whatever you want to call it. A lot of guys I know around here, when we started allowing straight wall, started hunting with 44 mag out of like a lever action or a single shot. And then as that most people know, Dirty Harry with the 44. That's what I hunt with. I hunt with a big revolver out of 44 mag, and I have absolutely loved this round. I have a couple videos on the channel. You can watch me taking a couple does with this. I mean, it's a big bullet coming out of it. I'm shooting a 240 grain bullet, and it's just got a lot of knockdown power. So I absolutely have been thrilled with this round. I've hunted with it a lot with the handgun. I've never hunted with a rifle with it, but I know a lot of people also like this to get by with the regulations and like to hunt with this out of a rifle. So that's another option if you want to look at the 44 mag. It is a pistol cartridge, so it's probably not moving as fast as a rifle cartridge would. But, if you're not shooting that far, I think this is a great round, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I've also had really good success out of our handgun with it and taken a few deer with it. So I do want to talk about shotguns and muzzleloaders. So like I said, certain states still have just shotgun and muzzleloader seasons. So to start off with shotguns, it's a great option for deer hunting or any kind of hunting in general, actually. It's the one thing I was going to say, if you're new to hunting, I think a shotgun's a great way to go, because a lot of, you can get a lot of different types of shotguns come with two barrels. So one would be your bird shot, your shot barrel, or your game barrel, and then you'd have a rifled barrel, a deer rifled barrel that has got the grooves for rifling to shoot slugs with. And I think it's just a great option if you're getting into hunting, because then it allows you to hunt small game, turkeys, ducks, geese, deer, everything. And also when we came here, that's what Dad hunted with. He hunted with it for years, took many deer with the shotgun, and never had an issue with it. And yeah, so I don't think you can go wrong with it. There's all types. I got like 4 different boxes from when we used to hunt with shotguns still here. And you got everything from sabot slugs to rifled slugs, and it looks like one of them here is 300 grains, which is huge. I mean, that's a heavy bullet. So a lot of knockdown power. And most shotguns, I think you can, if there's no plug laws, you can hunt with like 5 in the chamber, so you get 5 shots as well. So a lot of shots, and usually the ammo is actually a lot cheaper than rifle, I would say, as well. So a great option if you want to go that route. And then on top of that, muzzleloaders, I'll move to muzzleloaders. So we actually moved to muzzleloader. We hunted with shotguns for a bit, and then we went to muzzleloader because it's more accurate than the shotgun, or like we at least thought so. And we moved to muzzleloaders and hunted with muzzleloaders forever, and still do. And the only thing is, I mean, for those of you who don't know, muzzleloaders, there's no bullets. You actually have to put especially we hunt with the inline muzzleloaders, there's all types, but I'd say your typical one now is your inline, where you drop the powder in, you drop your bullet in, and then you stuff it down, and then you got your primer cap here, which looks like the back end of a bullet, as you kind of can see here, and put that in, and then crack the hammer back, and then let her rip. And we've loved muzzleloaders, killed a lot of good deer with the muzzleloader. And the good thing is also with the muzzleloader is a lot of states have a muzzleloader season only, like later in the year. I know most of the Midwest states do. Like we have a 2-week season after our gun season for just muzzleloader hunting. So does Kentucky. I know Ohio does. So there's a lot of states that have that. I think it's more popular in the Midwest. I know the South doesn't really have that, but if you're gonna go Midwest hunting, this would offer you a whole nother season to hunt on top of gun season. So that's one thing I want people to think about, that the cool thing about the muzzleloader is it actually could get you even more time in the field. So instead of just hunting 2 weeks for the gun season when every gun's available, you could actually get a whole nother 2 weeks theoretically for us, because you get to hunt muzzleloader season on top of it, even though you're using the same gun. The only downside to muzzleloaders are they're a pain in the butt to clean, and you only get one shot, and there's a lot of smoke, so you can't really see where you hit. And then it's just, yeah, you only get one shot, so you got to make it count pretty much. Otherwise, it takes a while to load to get your second round in. So those are the only cons. That's the only reason I wouldn't hunt with a muzzleloader right now over a rifle for gun season, because it's just, it's just a pain in the butt to clean. You only get one shot, and then it's just so much smoke that it's hard to see where you hit sometimes. But it's a great option, and like I said, still hunt with it. I hunted with it this year in Kentucky for their muzzleloader season. So always, it's always in the safe. We love muzzleloaders. They're so good now. They shoot great. So definitely a good option to go if you're thinking of extending your seasons even farther, especially if you live in the Midwest. Okay, so the next rounds we're going to get into, I would say, are kind of like your big game hunting calibers that some people might not consider deer calibers, just because a lot of these are used out west, and some people might say they're overpowering, which is true. I think on a couple of them, like, you definitely don't need as much power, but dead is dead, so whatever it takes to get it down. And some of these rounds are still used today in the Midwest and everything, and people love them. To start off though, this is actually a new round for us this year. I was gifted with my great-grandfather's 300 Savage rifle that a relative wanted to keep in the family this year and sent to me, and I wanted to kill a deer with it. And so I thought it'd be really cool to take a deer with my great-grandfather's gun that's like 100 years old, and bought ammo for it and tested out the 300 Savage. I never really knew much about this round because it's definitely an older round that is not as popular anymore. But after looking at it, the ballistics and everything, it really is very comparable to your 30-06 or your 308. It's a little bit less power than the 30-06 and 308, and a little less kick. But it's very comparable to ballistics, and as well as like the grain weights of bullets you could shoot out of it. So this year I hunted with the 180 grain. This is Federal Premium's Power Shock 180 grain jacketed soft point, and absolutely thrilled. I actually was able to take 2 deer with it. I took a really big doe, actually the biggest doe I've ever taken in my whole life, at about 70 yards, complete pass through. And she only went about 30 yards and just tons of blood everywhere. And then as well as a nice 8-point as well, like the week after that, at about 70 yards, and the same thing. Complete pass through, right behind the shoulder, only went about 30 yards and just completely fell over. So very thrilled with the round, very happy with this caliber, and it's definitely going to be one of my top calibers to take out now. And the good thing is, when I read up all this stuff on this, because I wanted to kind of compare it to other calibers for you if you're in this kind of realm and kind of want like maybe a crossover caliber that you could take out west, is that, yeah, this is very comparable to your 308, your 30-06, probably any of your 30 caliber bullets. So, this is a great round. I don't think they make this one anymore, so I think, maybe your 30-08 or 30-06 would be another great one to compare to this if you're thinking of kind of a crossover round. And really thrilled with it. You can't go wrong with a 30 caliber, and really have been happy with it, and definitely plan to hunt with it some more. And yeah, I definitely think the 30 calibers are a great way to be more versatile too. You tend to have more bullet grain weights to choose from. So I know for the 308, you can almost go all the way down to like 100 grains or something for like coyote hunting, and then go all the way up to like maybe 200 grains for your big game. So that's something to think about in the 30 caliber range. And like I said, definitely recommend. And yeah, it's been a great round. Okay, so we have one more round, and this has been a round that we have absolutely fell in love with, and I think a lot of people do when they start shooting this round, is the 7mm Magnum. So, or 7 mag, 7 Rem mag, whatever you want to call it. I think 7 Remington Magnum is the actual official name when it came out, but now people call it various things. So this is a 28 caliber bullet, 284 specifically for the 7 mag. So this is actually just a hair bigger than the 243 in size of bullet, width of bullet. So it's actually smaller than the 30 calibers and the 350 Legend, but this packs a lot more of a punch due to it being a Magnum. And we bought this round for actually Western hunting. It's well known out on the Western big game hunters love it. A lot of guys' favorite mule deer rounds is the 7 mag, mainly because this round is very flat shooting and has enough knockdown power to basically knock down an elk like at 600-700 yards. If you're a good shooter and you can make that shot, it has enough power to knock animals that big down that far. But, you know, we never envisioned actually using it in the whitetail woods, but then we started taking it out the past couple of years and have found out that it is a absolute hammer of a round. We have shot a bunch of deer with it now, and I don't even know if one of them has made it maybe 20 yards. It also is offered in a bunch of grain weights. So I got like 3 boxes here. Like I want to go over a couple of these just to kind of explain to you. The first one here is 154 grain Hornady one. And we actually, Dan, our buddy, took this rifle this year to hunt with it because he usually had been hunting with a muzzleloader. And we said, well, why don't you just take they actually had mishaps with the muzzleloaders in the past year. And we said, why don't you just take this rifle, give it a test, and see what you think. So he took this, and he took a really nice 8-point with it, and it only went about 30 yards and piled up. And then we've been hunting with this also. This is another Hornady. This is their Super Performance. This is their 154 grain SST. And man, this has been deadly too. This has been awesome. We've really liked this round. Every deer we've shot, I mean, just huge hole, and they only go like not even 20 yards. So we've been hunting with those for deer, and then also this is the round we've been taking out west, which would be a perfect deer round too, but since we have Western rounds, we try to save those for just practice and out west and keep our deer rounds for just hunting deer at home. So because the Western rounds are so hard to find. But this is the HSM Trophy Golds. This is their 168 grain Burger HBBT Hunting VLD. And this has been an absolute awesome round. And if you watch a pronghorn video, you'll see I made 2 perfect shots out to 300 yards with this round and put 2 big holes in the pronghorn and absolutely just decked them. So a lot of this round, the reason we love this round is it's very versatile. There's definitely a bunch of grain weights. And also it's not like a 300 Win Mag, it's a lot less than that. And if you have a muzzle brake like we do, there's really no kick on it. So that's the one thing, like I'm not scared to shoot this gun at all. It's actually the most comfortable gun I have that I'm confident with and have no issue shooting it. The only downside is it's very expensive to shoot. So you're running probably about $4 or $5 a round. So each time you pull the trigger is $4 or $5 out of your pocket to practice with. Now, especially with all the crazy stuff with ammo. So that's the only thing. You know, it's just a lot more expensive to shoot, but it's very versatile and you can literally not worry about drop at all. So like we actually take this to Bama with us because sometimes we hunt fields with them that are out to 300 yards or farther, and you know we don't have to worry about drop with this rifle because it's flat. It's zeroed at 200 and it doesn't drop. It only drops a few inches at 300. So that's the great thing about it. So if you're hunting in the southern states where you have a lot more land, or now if you're hunting private land in Indiana and you're hunting big open fields in northern Indiana, I think a big caliber, Magnum caliber is perfectly, acceptable because you might have to shoot 300 yards and you don't want to worry about drop or anything. So we've been thrilled with the 7 mag. I know a lot of people would be like, wow, that's overkill. And, I have to admit, sometimes I think it is just because it's a huge round. You really don't need it to kill a deer. You can kill anything with any of these rounds. And, on top of that, one thing I wanted to make note is the ammo and guns now are so good that you can't really go wrong with any one. As he told you, like with this 243, I mean, I knocked my deer down at 150 yards with it, and this is only a 95 grain bullet, and it still put a huge hole in it in Bama. And we actually compared it to Dad's deer who took it with a 7 mag, and it wasn't that big of a difference. So you can't really go wrong with any of these calibers. And there's, like I said, there's a ton of other ones we didn't even cover here, but I just wanted to give you guys our ones we have used and liked and have had success with, in case you're looking for one, just to kind of give you maybe a starting point and something to look into, and then you can watch maybe some other videos and see what you like. But all these we have had great success with and highly recommend. And yeah, but if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And if you guys like these videos, give it a like and please subscribe to the channel. That would help me out help me out a lot. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.